I can't remember the last time I've seen a 20-minute standby for Roger Rabbit. Normally there's guests right here, but yeah, there's nobody in there. I'm sorry, but that's just wrong. That's incorrect. You could let in thousands more people into this park today. Easy. Disney got it wrong today, and it's making me a little bit crazy. Join us as we take a complete tour around the park to find some unexpected scenes, including those that are making me crazy, and Green River water, and a missing tree. This is our State of Disneyland report. This is FreshBaked. You know, it's a shame I can't do the whole show, the whole State of Disneyland report from this bench right here, and just talk about Disneyland for 70 minutes from this bench. That would make me quite satisfied. I would be very happy with that. But we do need to get out into the park today to do our State of Disneyland report. But we're going to start right here at the Main Street station, as I always do, because it's just about my favorite place to be at Disneyland. And we're here on a Monday morning once more for this State of Disneyland report, with Magic Keys back in the park. We are back as of Saturday. Today is Monday. We're back as of Saturday, and we've got it's going to be a weird day today, a very weird day, because it's kind of a confluence. Why? The last day of Christmas is today. Today is the last day that you'll see any Christmas decorations, any sort of holiday things happening in the park. Actually, they may lag a little bit. You might find decorations, you know, for a couple days after this. They don't do it immediately, but for all intents and purposes, you know, no music, no nothing after today. But it's a Monday, and I feel like it's an odd thing to do. I don't remember if this is typical or not. They should have been. I would have thought yesterday. Plus, we got a bunch of rides. We're going to find out a bunch of rides that are going to be closed today. So there's sort of, it is still holidays, but it's not. You know what I mean? We're into the off season, into the refurb season, I guess. But never mind all that. Let's get started. Let's get onto Main Street and see what that vibe check looks like. And it looks like our ceremonial walk down the steps are going to be joined by the Disneyland band. They're going to do a little show here, so let's get out of here a little bit. Oh, why does that seem like a smaller group? Maybe I'm just seeing things. Let's get down Main Street. And so begins the very curious nature of our day today and what we're going to find. I haven't been into the park today. I did shoot a little B-roll. It's always the first thing I do is shoot a little B-roll. And Main Street did seem kind of busy, kind of packed. I won't lie, it did certainly feel that way, but how that's going to translate into the rest of the park is going to be a mystery. But this is Main Street USA at Disneyland at about 11:20 in the afternoon. I'm ready for the music to be over. Even though I love Christmas music on Main Street, it's well into January now, so. A little painting going on here at the Candy Palace. That didn't make it into our construction report. I mean, it feels okay. It's not bad. This certainly isn't max capacity. I'll say that. Well, right here on Main Street, I'm not getting anything close to a max capacity vibe, which, by the way, is the suggestion that Disney would give you if you were to learn from the reservation calendar the fact that, well, you know what? I won't get into that, but let's just say Disney thinks this is a max capacity day. Let's go back up to the Main Street station and check out that reservation calendar. We'll get started with the single day ticket calendar as usual, and we'll note, normally I use this moment to look at the price, but today is sold out. January 6th, this Monday, is sold out, which is something we never see. Never see that when we do these reservation calendar update that's always wide open, but it is sold out, so I don't even know how much it costs, but I went and looked. I do know how much. It was $142. We're in tier 3 today. Tier 3, $142, which is kind of in the middle. 142 is still on the high end, I think. But the fact that we're sold out on a Monday, when ostensibly you would think that it's over. Christmas is over. There is still a day here, and so Disney thinks it's worth it to be here today, but we'll find out if the crowds agree. But it is sold out. It's sold out, and obviously there's no reservations for Magic Keys. There haven't been same-day reservations for a while. So again, I use that as an indicator that this is as busy as Disneyland wants it to be. But we'll take a look at the reservation calendar otherwise, and it's wide open. The 7th through the 31st is completely wide open. You can get, a reservation tomorrow easily, and if we were to do this report tomorrow, that same day would be there. Now, what's interesting though, and this is something we talked about in the news update on our other channel, FreshBaked Presents, there's a competing calendar out there right now. Disney is selling a discounted ticket to SoCal residents, but that bucket is not the same as the bucket you're seeing here. You can buy a ticket, a 3-day ticket for $199, which amounts to $67 per day roughly, and but that, if you look at that calendar, which we're going to check that out now, there's the SoCal resident 3-day ticket. Today is sold out, just like it is for the full calendar, but look at where the rest of the calendar for the single-day ticket was completely wide open. The 13th is a DCA start only. The Saturday is a Disneyland start only, curious. 19th is sold out, and 26th is a DCA start only. So this is a completely separate bucket that has more scarcity to it. And one of the points we made in that video on FreshBaked Presents was that that's an artificial scarcity. That's something that Disney they're just doing it on their own. They're saying, we're making this a smaller group of tickets. You don't have they're still setting some aside. They're still trying to make sure that there's enough full price, tickets available to guests. We'll keep an eye on this over the next 5 months or so while this ticket is available, and it's also going to impact what we see in the park. By the way, it already has. This ticket has been available since January 1st. So that discounted ticket has been competing with the holiday traffic for the past week. This is why we've seen obscene amounts of people in the parks today. That may or may not translate to today. Like I said, the 6th doesn't really feel like the kind of day that people are going to show up, but here we are. But I'll guarantee you the rest of this week is going to be dead, or dead-ish at least. So that's the single-day ticket calendar. Let's look at the Inspire Key. So it's brutal right now. Here we are. We can't get. There's no reservations available until next Monday, a week from now. So the next week, the next 7 days are sold out. They're booked up. Plus the 17th and 18th, the 19th, the 25th, 26th. It's just ugly. And I was curious. I wondered if this is something I often think about is how does this compare to last year? Are we on the same schedule? Is Disney in the same mindset as they were a year ago? Have they changed their attitudes at all? Is this better or worse than it was a year ago? And I can say that Disney has not only not changed their mindset, I think they're digging in even a little bit more against Magic Keys. Now this image, this screen cap is from our State of Disney report from January 2nd. Different conversation a little bit because that's still the holidays. Magic Keys are still booked out. But that calendar looks far more available. I mean, it's not wide open, but it's certainly more available than the 7 consecutive sold out days that we're looking at right now. There were updates available for the next couple days, and it was much more available to Magic Keys than it was this year at the same time this year. Now, again, that was January 2nd, but I can tell you that the Magic Key calendar that you're seeing today for January 25 for this month has looked like that, sold out for this entire week for a while. So this is not a new development. It's looked like this since before Christmas. It's been a couple weeks that it's looked like this. So well before that point in time when I would have captured this last year, which was January, New Year's Day, January 2nd, I'm not sure which it was. So Magic Keys today are less available than they were this time last year. That's my observation. And then not much to report on February. There are some sold out dates or DCA. Oh no, there's one sold out date, the 14th, and then some DCA starts. February's not looking great, but it's at least better than January. It should be that way though. And then the Enchant Key, same as Inspire, except that they're still blocked out for the Saturdays in February, the 11th, 18th, and 25th. Those are blocked out. So it's Disney's still doing it. It's still happening. It's still a thing. Magic Keys, they're not a fan. Yep, I am ready for a mystery. I'm ready to see what this park has in store for us. As I said, you know, I don't know what kind of day is this. Is this supposed to be a busy day? Is it the holidays? It's supposed to be busy, or should it be a regular January Monday off-season type day? I feel like guests are going to treat this as the holiday season is over. They're no longer interested, and I think we're going to see lower crowds than what Disney was expecting. And the crowds that we're seeing here at 11:24 on this Monday afternoon would suggest that so far. By the way, it is 11:24 and it's 65 degrees out this afternoon. It's going to be beautiful, perfect weather. We had another windy day blow through here. It was not full on Santa Ana's, but the warm winds that come through Southern California, it clears the skies and it brings the temperatures up 4 or 5 degrees. And that's our result today, is we get, what did I say, 65 degrees out? Yeah, 65, so it's kind of perfect. It's kind of perfect right now. Let's get into some of that park science. Let's get into some of that recon through the parks, every land, every attraction, starting with Adventureland. Busy or not busy, one thing you're always going to get is the Disneyland vibes. Walking through that Adventureland bridge into Adventureland proper, I always feel good about that. I always feel like I'm just about, that's usually the direction I go. You know, people talk about how do you start. I almost always start with that left turn into Adventureland. Sometimes I turn right into Tomorrowland, but I almost always start in this direction. This is like the beginning of most of my Disneyland days. It's always quite comforting. We were here on Saturday shooting our construction footage, and it was quite crazy for a while, and then all of a sudden it stopped being crazy at like 4 o'clock. So let's talk about Jungle Cruise. An early affirmation, I must say, to our initial projections of how the park is going to look. Not bad. They are queuing up on the left side, no queue on the right side, which we've been seeing all season, all through the holiday season. Hey guys, we've been seeing guests up there on the right side, and the result is a 20-minute standby here at Jungle Cruise. So that's a good start for a potentially light day today. Meanwhile, next door, Indiana Jones is looking good, I think. Well, it's posted 55. But you can see there's hardly any traffic out here in front. Nothing happening out here. There's no collection of guests, either standby or lightning lane. I would bet dollars to donuts that this is not a 55-minute standby. I would bet what we're gonna find around the corner is a not full exterior queue. Let's see. I know, I'm just getting some pictures back here. Nope. Nope, look at that. That's half full. That's a half full queue right there. Maybe 2/3 question mark, but certainly it's not a 55-minute queue. I waited. We did a video where we tested our powers of observation. I tried to see how much time I could save. It was called outsmarting the Disneyland wait times, and that video included a trip through Indiana Jones where this queue was completely full, and we were up into that extended area where the Jungle Cruise, you go up the steps and go downstairs and all that. We did that whole thing. It was packed to the brim down here, and we still got done in 50 minutes. It was posted 90, we got done in 50. So when I see this queue, and not having gone into the Jungle Cruise section and not seeing, very many people out in front, I'm thinking this is, not even 55, not obviously, but maybe closer to 35 or 40. And 40 is probably the high end. So we're looking good again. This is an excellent day to be taking advantage of an empty-ish Disneyland park so far. Yeah, right here. This is what I was talking about. We went up there. We went around the switchbacks up there, and they had to guess. We got into the queue back here. So we did this part as well. It was pretty nasty. Still, just 50 minutes. I was kind of surprised. I chose it because I felt like they always overstate Indy, no matter what, pretty much. And I thought we would beat 90 for sure. It was posted 90. And but I was still shocked to see that we got it done in 50. I thought maybe 60, 65, 70, but we got it done in 50. Last tape. This is going to be the last shot of the season of Jack Skellington. He's freaking out. That's it. Jack Skellington goes away today. There's Pirates. There's a little bit of action there on the bridge. Even just now walking through here, I'm not feeling that, you know, that intensity that you get when you walk through. You're trying to stay away from people and you got your shoulders clenched up, trying to, you know, stay in your little bubble. I'm not feeling that at all right now. But there's a reasonable sized queue developing out here in front. It's posted at 30 minutes. It's kind of going into New Orleans Square, but it does. I don't feel like their heart is in it. Let's, you know, actually.
Oh, FreshBaked!
Hi. Let's walk it through here a little bit. I want to see how dense that queue is. They've got the ropes up and they're sending ghost guests in that direction, but it's not the least bit. Yeah, see, this is not even full. Yeah, like I said, their heart's just not in it, man. They want it to be that way, but it's just not. Posted 30, I would say this is probably closer to 20, not even 20. 15, maybe 15, 20. It all depends on Lightning Lane, but it's still early in the afternoon. Yeah. Again, we did this queue in that video. Also, the Outsmarting Disney, it was posted at 30.
She makes a comment.
Okay, 30 something, but all this was full. This was all full. They had the queue running out there as well, and we still did it in 20 minutes. The guests walking up this switchback right here and heading back, they'll be on the bridge in about 4 or 5 minutes. They'll spend another 4 or 5 minutes on the bridge. They'll be through the threshold in 8 to 10 minutes, and then spend another, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 minutes, maybe like 7 minutes in the queue proper there. Yeah, you're looking at 15 tops, I think. A breeze, easy peasy. Which brings to mind, you guys know what today is? Well, not today exactly, but today-ish. It's the 1-year anniversary of when they put Pirates of the Caribbean on Lightning Lane. Back then it was Genie Plus, I think. Lightning Lane Multipass. We did a whole bit about that in that State of Disneyland report. It's been a year since they put on. It's been a month at least, right, since they've reopened Haunted Mansion, and they still haven't taken Pirates of the Caribbean off. I would love to know. Disney, have a statistician let us know. I know you're not gonna. I'm just being facetious, but I would love to know what impact adding Pirates has had on the financials for sales for Lightning Lane, because I feel like it doesn't make any difference. I don't think it's helped one bit, but they have not taken it off. It's still on Lightning Lane, and I don't get the sense that they're in any hurry to do it. I had heard from, you know, sources that they were going to. I would have thought it would be by now, but perhaps they're waiting, you know, until the holidays are over. Perhaps, I don't know. That's today, so we'll see what happens. But I'm still watching. I'm still watching, and you know, clock's ticking. Disney. I'm not going to let this one go. I don't think, because it bothers me to a great degree that Pirates is on Lightning Lane. I don't feel like it enhances the Lightning Lane experience. It's not good. It doesn't make that guest experience that much better, because you're not winning. You're not winning a whole lot. You're saving. I mean, we went through that big fat queue last week in 20 minutes. So you're saving with that Lightning Lane. You're saving 10 minutes. That's not a win to me. And in the meantime, you could take that off and not upset any Lightning Lane guest. None of them. Anybody buying Lightning Lane would not be like, "Oh, Disney, why'd you take Pirates?" 1% of guests would be upset about it. But you could make so many Disney. You could make so many people happy by taking it off and restoring it to standby the way it should be, the way it's always been. I know you thought about it doing it once in the past, and you changed your mind. Thankfully, you went ahead and did it this time. Just like selling Lightning Lane or Fast Pass, you thought about it, you changed your mind, you said, "No, get back to that thinking, like it's not, do things that are good for every guest. Make decisions that are good for everyone. Not always, but some. Standby guests want to be considered also. As for New Orleans Square and the crowds here, again, this is just not as intense as we saw through the holiday season proper. This is not, the people have spoken, this is not a big deal to them this day. They did not make it a priority to be here on this January 6th for $142. It has no business this date being sold out, either for single day tickets or for Magic Keys. There should be reservations available. This is incorrect, in my opinion. We'll go check out, though. It's, what is it? Hey guys, how are you? It's 11:40 as we approach Tiana's palace. Let's just see if there's any kind of queue brewing. But again, lately it's been out the door. Not too bad. Oh, that is to the door, though. Well, it turns out what I thought was a queue at the door was just folks staring at the menu, because it is actually quite empty in here, and there's very little waiting to get your food. Don't bother mobile ordering here. You can just walk up and just get yourself, you know, a beignet or the muffaletta sandwich over there. They make a muffaletta salad. I love it here. We'll check on Haunted Mansion next, where I'm already getting the sense that it is still pretty busy. I'm seeing, actually, if I'm not mistaken, there's a queue poking out there at the threshold, but look, I'm going to look back here first. They've got this little queue set up out here once more. That emergency bonus queue out here that would extend from the gate. It looks pretty full in there, actually. It looks pretty full. Oh, that's quite a move. Wow, go for it. They went and got some popcorn while they were waiting in the queue. That's kind of excellent. I'm not mad at it. That's bonus. Let's go check the front. We haven't even seen the wait time yet. But still, again, it doesn't feel very dense. I'm expecting Haunted Mansion in a vacuum will be in excess of what you're going to find in the rest of the park. Tiana's will probably be like that as well. You know, these are bonus attractions, as it were. Yeah, the standby queue is sneaking out of the threshold. 60 minutes on the board. And it's, yeah, they're using it all. And it's extra right now. It is extra. Haunted Mansion is just doing brisk business. Wait till it comes back. Wait till Classic Haunted Mansion comes back on January 18th. There's an announcement. I can't hear very well. That may be, yeah, people are going in the wrong direction. Oh, no, they're not. I thought maybe they're going the wrong direction, but I can't tell if that's a get out of the queue announcement or not. But nobody is. People are 100% going in still, so probably not. So that's Haunted Mansion. I guess now we have to start including Madame Leota's Somewhere Beyond gift shop in here. You may have seen in our construction update, there was some drama about Disney using AI art in the gift shop to decorate. It was right up there, and that is now gone. They've taken it down. Disney has listened to guests who objected to them using art purchased on Redbubble. And not just Redbubble art, but art that is not created by the Disney company. It's one thing, I guess, to use decor pieces, you know, like the sculptures and stuff that you might see up there. But actual, you know, art, something drawn, supposedly drawn. That's what Disney's, you know, about, is animation. That their whole thing is on, you know, their whole history is steeped in artistry. Anyway, so I guess they agree. I'm curious to see how far Disney would take that sort of listening to guests. There was outrage. We did a video, we included it in our construction update about the drama. I mean, I'm kind of whatever. It doesn't really bother me per se. I'd rather they didn't, but I wasn't just me. There was lots of people all over social and etc. that objected to it above all other things. But I'm curious. So Disney listened to that and they said, we're going to take it down. I don't know if they're going to replace it or do something else. And also, for my other question, like, can they do more of that? Like, I've been screaming about Tom Sawyer Island, top of my lungs, as often as I can remember to do it, about the complete and total lack of maintenance happening on the island. It is in a state of disrepair that is unprecedented in the history of Disney. This is a piece of property, Tom Sawyer Island, that is closely connected to the history, the origins of this park. Walt Disney himself drew the map, drew the outline, what he wanted it to look like. This is Disney history, and they're just like, whatever, we'll let it fall apart. We don't care. And to that, I object vociferously. All right. Tom Sawyer deserves considerably more respect than that. So I'm hoping that they can continue. We've been talking about entertainment. The entertainment's been cut from Golden Horseshoe. Hi. Tomorrowland, Main Street, you name it. There's, entertainment's being cut left and right these days. More at DCA. They haven't listened to any of that, so I'm not ready to get excited about them listening, but it is something. Let's go to Bayou Country. That is next. And as we alluded to earlier when I was saying this is an extra right now. Haunted Mansion is, even if it's slow, it's going to be bonkers. Same thing here. It's slow in the rest of the park so far, but it'll be a madhouse here. Still 70 minutes posted wait time for standby, although they're not using all of the garden back there.
Okay, now what?
That doesn't look too bad. Man, it is dense right here, though. Holy mackerel. Wow. Completely separate from what's happening around the rest of the park. Am I right? I can't even walk through here. Goodness. All I want to do is get to the back of the land. That's all I want to do. Okay. We're getting there. The standby looks a little posted. Not gonna lie, that looks a little like they've been standing there for a little while, waiting. Most likely they have been waiting for Lightning Lane guests. Single rider's got a little bit of a queue. Just want to, gosh, you remember coming back here in the day, doing these state of reports, and I would look and then turn around. I was like, there's nothing to report on back here. Boy, there's stuff to report on back here now, isn't there? So they're into Extended 1 and Extended 2. That's Extended 1.
Oh my God, there's a long line for me.
Not really. Not really. And there's Extended 2. So yeah, you're probably going to get all of that 70 minutes. Although I'm not seeing anybody going up into the Lightning Lane. There's a couple coming in right now. The ride is still having its issues with breakdowns. That's still a thing, although it's not as frequent as it was. But the last time we were here, last time I tried to ride, I got kicked out of the queue. So it's still a thing. They're still working it out, but it is getting better. It's progressively, iteratively, it's getting better and better. And I don't think it's going to be the case where it's like this forever, like Indiana Jones. Splash Mountain, by the way, I don't know if you guys remember, one of the major complaints about Splash Mountain before it closed to become Tiana's was how often it broke down. It was in a constant state of disrepair. They weren't putting any kind of attention to it. But then many thought, well, that was because they knew that they were going to update it to Tiana's. So why not just wait until Tiana's, until it closes and they can fix it then? perhaps. But Splash has always had performance issues. But dang, I just had a heck of a time getting into Bayou Country, getting to the back of the land, and then coming back out. That was very intense right there. It doesn't look too bad now, but just walking right through there, very difficult time. I'm doing this from Hungry Bear, which we're gonna go check in a minute. But it's weird how I've been saying, you know, the rest of the park is dead, but that might have been the most claustrophobic I think I've felt. One of the top 3 most claustrophobic moments I've felt in Bayou Country since they opened Tiana's. I was gonna say it's quite busy here at Hungry Bear. Well, it actually is. When I started walking up here to film that bit right there, the queue was down here. The queue was right there, but in the less than 2 minutes, they've managed to process a whole bunch of guests. That's outstanding. So that means not a lot of people are using mobile order, I guess, and they're just hustling people through here, or perhaps they've got a third. Yes, they do. They have 1, 2, 3 stations open right now. Often it is just 2. So that could be helping. Oh, here goes the Disneyland Railroad. Hi, how are you guys? Awesome. Awesome. Hungry Bear's popping. Love to see it. If any place deserves to pop, it's the Hungry Bear. They earn it. Good food, great view, wonderful theming, great place to be. It's a very Disney experience. This place should pop on a regular basis. It's actually kind of full back here. There goes the train again. Before we make that left turn into Galaxy's Edge, I want to make an observation here. I'm not sure if my memory is fuzzy or what, but I noticed this the other day when I was over at the Jungle Cruise, and I'm seeing it again here now on the river.
FreshBaked, what's up?
Hey guys, how's it going? That water looks considerably more green than it normally does. Does it not? Like I could go back and look for some old, B-roll, because I look out here often when I'm doing the stative reports. This is one of my stops, but I don't remember ever. Well, in recent memory, I know it has in the past, but is this a new development? This extra green. The Davy Crockett canoes are closed right now. So is the Mark Twain, for that matter. By the way, that's part of what we were talking about today earlier, about the ride closures that started today. There's a bunch that start today, even though it's technically still the holiday season. That's green, you guys. Like intentionally so. I feel like they did that with intent. Am I crazy? I said in other updates that Fantasmic is in bad shape. The river is also in bad shape. Mostly because of the island in Fantasmic, but the river needs to be drained. And I think they're gonna do it, not this year, but next. The river needs to be drained, and they need to do a lot of repair, which is weird considering they did it. They drained it and repaired it when they did the Galaxy's Edge update. But there's something wrong. There's something wrong with the river. Not so much so that they would scrap it and build a Cars-themed land there instead. I don't think we're going to get to that point, but there is something wrong with our river, I think. Our recon continues in Galaxy's Edge, where we're seeing Rise. It is open. I see movement up there, so it's open. Nothing in Section 4. Nothing in Section 3. Empty. Great sign for Rise fans. Am I right? Section 2-ish. Kind of some guests there in Section 2, but basically the extent of the queue is Section 1. Wow, that's light. I'm going to put that at like 45 minutes. Assuming there's no action or Lightning Lane, which I don't expect there to be. I would expect Lightning Lane to be light. But that's a go situation right there for rides. They're calling it 55, which obviously it isn't. It's probably closer to my 45, I would say. Yeah, nothing really happening here at Lightning Lane. This is a go. Get on Rise of the Resistance right now, guys. Do it. And with that, we're back to our observation that the park is not anywhere close to full capacity. I cannot believe that they're saying that they don't want any more guests in the park today. I struggle with that. I have been saying this for years now, over and over. I'm like, is this really what they wanted? You can't buy a ticket today. You can't walk up and buy a ticket. You can't make a reservation as a Magic Key holder. They have closed all sales and all reservations. Everything is locked. There is more than enough room for more guests in here today. I cannot believe that this is the most that they want in here. And so let's just say they thought it was going to be busier than this. They thought people were going to be here. They thought this was a holiday day, this Monday. Even if they thought that, and that's why they locked it up, why not unlock it? Is what I don't understand. Why not unlock it? Why not let more Magic Keys in? Or single day tickets? Why? I struggle with this. We're going to get into that a little bit more after we look at the tip board. We're here at the marketplace. We're going to go take a pit stop at Docking Bay 7 and check out the tip board. And to Docking Bay 7, we have arrived looking at the tip board at 1 p.m. this afternoon on a Monday. Alice 25, I like the looks of that. Astro Orbiter 30, you know, every time I see these high wait times for Astro Orbiter, but they never pan out when I get there. Autopia 10 minutes, that's nice. Return time of now. Big Thunder's an hour, all right. That's higher than I would have expected. Big Thunder on a normally semi-busy day or not crazy day would be 45, so 60 is pretty good. Everybody's excited that the water's on in the queue. I think that's all that is. Return time in 3.5 hours. Buzz at 30 minutes, return time of now, pretty standard. Casey Jr. 5, Chip and Dale's 35. Dumbo 25, Nemo 25, it's light. Wow, how did the Haunted Mansion get down to 45 minutes? We just walked by there, it was an hour. That wasn't that long ago. It's now at 45, and look at the return time, just 3.5 hours. That's pretty good. If you're buying Lightning Lane, when the attraction first reopened, they were selling out quickly. So that indicates to me that there's not a lot of Lightning Lane action. Here you go. Indiana Jones, 50 minutes, which we normally see, but I bet if we walked by there, it wouldn't be 50 minutes, but just 5 hours. Now you're saying, David, 5 hours. It's 1 o'clock. At this point, often we're seeing return time 7 or 8 hours from now when we look at the tip board on busy days. Small World is 30 minutes, last day to see Small World Holiday. Well, I wonder, you know, they're leaving it open, Small World, for another 2 weeks after today, until the 21st. But will they keep the holiday decorations up? Because normally they close it for a week to take down the decorations, but they're not. They're waiting until the 21st. Does that mean the decorations stay up that whole time? I think they do. Return time of now. Jungle Cruise 25, that's pretty light. Winnie the Pooh 25, yeah, no way, in your dreams. Matterhorn is closed. And no Lightning Lane being offered. Runaway Railway, a very nice and tidy 30 minutes and just an hour and a half return time. Nice. Mickey's House, 15 minutes, I don't think so, but Smugglers Run, 30 minutes. Return time of now. Now, you guys, now. Now. People aren't buying Lightning Lane today. They're not. I think Disney, this is sort of a continuing conversation. I think Disney has misidentified this day as a day that people would find in demand. I think the people are speaking, you know, as we say, speak with your wallets or speak with your attendants. They're saying, no, I'm not interested in going. Toads, 20 minutes, I'll just keep going. Peter Pan, 25. Pinocchio, 10. Pirates 30, return time of an hour. Roger Rabbit 20 minutes. I would get in that queue so hard right now. Matter of fact, well, we'll be there in about half an hour. I'm hoping it's gonna. I might get in that to see how real that is. I might just do that. 1:55 return time. That means not a lot of Lightning Lane again. Snow White 20, Space Mountain 65, Standard 3.5 hours return time. Star Tours 40. That's high. That's high for Star Tours. But a return time of now. Rise is down. Yeah, right. It was 55. I'm like, nah, it's 40. If it's 40 now, if Disney has declared it 40, then the queue must be even shorter than it was. It must be in section 1 by now. Just section 1, or even the cave, you know? Strawberry Land 15, Tiana 70. That's return time is 6 hours. That's actually your break though. That's your possibility. If you're looking for a discount on Tiana's, it's when the sun goes down, because it's still pretty chill out here. But today is warm. Today, we're we're going to get into the 70s today, actually. So that's probably why the Lightning Lane is still in demand. But you show up at Tiana's at 7 o'clock, and you'll get close to a walk-on, I bet. And there you go. That's the tip board. Eager to see what the reality is at Smugglers Run, which has been, it's been super busy a lot lately, to the point where I'm not even sure which way is up. But that 20 minutes and a return time of now is kind of shocking, and I want to see how real that is. And I will say already that this is light. Out here, the little common area is pretty light. They bumped it up to 30 already. Was it 20 or 30? Now I got to be second guessing, because it was just a few minutes ago that I was over there at Docking Bay 7 looking at that tip board. I could have sworn it said 20, but they've got it 30. But it hasn't been maybe 5 minutes since I looked at that board. But if the return time is to be trusted for Lightning Lane, and standby wait time is to be trusted, that's posted, we should be able to take this queue, I would say, all the way up to the final ramp. Maybe not to the lookouts where you can see down into or over the Falcon, but we should at least get past the ship that they have that's in the repair bay. And looking at the return time, even if you're not a Lightning Lane guest, looking at the return time is an important part of your analysis in terms of trying to decide whether or not you want to get in the queue, because the return time tells you how in demand the Lightning Lane is. If you should expect to find a lot of people using Lightning Lane. If it's now, then people aren't reserving those times. They're not stacking. It's not growing and getting further out, which is why I would have thought. Which is why I would have thought that the back of the queue would be significantly deeper into the attraction, but here it is. So that's just pure standby right there. That's just pure standby. I want to see the Lightning Lane queue. I got to see it though. I don't know if I can. It's just too deep. I took a peek. There's nobody in Lightning Lane. So that is what we're seeing up there is just pure standby. That's insane. Which means it'll go quick though. Say that. This looks worse than I would have wanted, but it's gonna move. See how they're moving? It's gonna move. You're not gonna be stuck there waiting for all those Lightning Lane guests to clear. There's, and that's what you want to see is a constant flow. So it looks bad, but not as bad as it looks. Or it isn't as bad as it looks. And you should be able to get through that, I would say, in a nominal. You could probably do that in less than 30. Look at how quickly it's moving. It's flowing, big time. I want to take a peek. When we walked in, although it wasn't on camera, I saw on the side of my eye that there were guests up there on that particular part of the catwalk. And you can see them moving quite, guys, if you walk into a queue and you see that, you're good. You're in pretty good shape. I wonder how long it'll take for them to stop. Like, it's one thing for that queue to move a little bit, like a few bodies at a time, and then they stop for a while because they're waiting for Lightning Lane. But look how consistent it's still going. That's no Lightning Lane. There it goes. They finally. Well, that's because it's not this is a rotational attraction. It's not a ongoing, continuous loading. It's rotational, which means that it has to stop at some point in order for them to cycle the next batch of guests into the pre-show room with Hondo, so there should be a stoppage. But that was pretty good. I like to see that. Again, it's very important when you're trying to determine if you want to get into standby to look at not just the back of the queue, not just the posted wait time, not just how many guests are in Lightning Lane now, but go ahead and look at the return time for the next Lightning Lane. And if it's now or close to now, especially for an attraction like this, then you should have confidence in knowing that you're probably not going to have a lot of competition. You're probably going to have an easy time of it in standby. Standby is great. No matter, just name your attraction. It doesn't matter which attraction you want to talk about. Space Mountain, Pirates, Small World, Big Thunder. It doesn't matter. Name it. If there's no Lightning Lane, there's no queue I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of a single queue where there is no Lightning Lane. I would get in any queue. So, that's a great indicator of whether or not you think, gosh, am I up against it? Because sometimes you just don't know. You don't know when it's going to become suddenly a popular attraction for Lightning Lane. You never know when it's going to pop and 60 people show up. But you can tell, you can get a baseline if there's no return time. If it's now, then people aren't getting it. I hope that makes sense. And then just use your eyeballs. You come out here and you look in this common area, and there's literally 9 guests in my frame right now. That's practically nothing. It is just not happening out here. We'll take a quick walk down this path towards Fantasyland and pick up that conversation that I was having when we were looking at the tip board. Now, to follow up on that conversation that we're having on the way in to Docking Bay 7 at the marketplace, I gotta say, Disney's got this wrong. I mean, sometimes I'm like, maybe not. What do I know? I have no idea I'm not privy to the inside financials and data that they have to help them make the decisions. But there's no possible way that you could convince me that this is their ideal for this day, that they capped attendance, they stopped selling single day tickets, they stopped allowing Magic Keys in the park, and that they're happy with this. There's just no way. They've got this wrong. Disney got it wrong. Now, is that an outlier or is that something that's consistent? That's the conversation, I guess, because I've been saying this for a long time, as I mentioned. For years, I feel like it doesn't make any sense, but they keep doing the same thing. I talked about this a few weeks ago. I've been for 3 years, since the reservation system has become a thing, for at least that low, the whole time. I wondered if they have misidentified or miscalculated certain things, and yet nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. I get texts from people all the time, messages, look at this thing that Disney's doing, look at that thing, look at this decision. This is costing them money here, it's costing them money there. There's poor performance in this sector, there's poor performance in that sector, hotels, dining, merch. Hi guys. All those divisions are suffering, I'm hearing, and yet they make no changes whatsoever to their policy. They make no changes whatsoever to their pricing. They make no changes whatsoever to who we're letting into the park. They lean into it even more so. Like I said, looking at the reservation calendar, the calendar is worse today, this time of year, than it was last year. I'm gonna lose my mind trying to figure this out, and maybe it can't be. Maybe this is just too complex. And maybe I'm overthinking it, or I don't know. Maybe Disney's overthinking. I would definitely say that Disney has the tendency to overthink things, to try to make things perfect. They're trying to extract every single possible dollar. It's so complicated. There's 7, layers of tickets to buy. There's 4 different passes, probably 5 coming up, maybe 6, who knows, for Magic Keys. And I'll bet you anything. I'll bet you anything they made more money in 2018. than they are today. More net profit. I'll bet you anything. The only reason why they're making money today is because they raised prices. That's it. That's all they have. That's all they have is charging you more. That's the only strategy. They don't have a strategy that works, that's proven otherwise. That's why I worry about spring and summer, especially for FreshBaked WDW, or Walt Disney World. I'm talking about Epic. I'm a little worried, but never mind now. Let's get back to the magic and wonder of Disneyland, right? Because that's never going to change. Disney can be wrong on so many things, but this park, Fantasyland, is never wrong. No doubt about it. It's correct. Every time, all day, 100% of the time. I guess.
It was like a...
What's going on? When did this happen? Do you guys see or not see what I'm not seeing? I wish I had B-roll in front of me right now. They took a tree out. There's a tree missing. Okay, future Dave, I hope you're putting something together to put on the socials, because this is blowing my mind right now. I can't get my head around this. When did they do this? Overnight? What night? When? I was here on Saturday and it didn't look like this. They took a tree. Oh, I hate when they do that. Man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to concentrate now. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this show, you guys. That just shook me. I'm shook. I'm positively shook. There should be a tree there. And I don't think I like the fact that there isn't. I love that tree up there. I love that whole spot up there. That's one of my favorite places to be in the park, and they took a tree. I'm shook. Okay, I gotta lock it up. I gotta get my ish together. Let's go, David. Come on. Fantasyland, Pinocchio, let's go. Okay, not too bad. That's a good sized queue, though, actually, for Pinocchio, for on a day what I would say is not very busy. It's still just, not even 20 minutes, but for Pinocchio, anything out of the threshold usually is pretty good. It's a strong performance, anything out of the threshold. Snow White is looking pretty standard over there. I'll take a queue that's just on that last switchback. That's 15 minutes. They're calling it 20. Oh, no, they're calling, I thought it was a 2. That's a 10. They're calling it, it's not. I mean, it's 10-ish, but it's probably closer to 15. Peter Pan, ooh, look at that. Chains open everywhere. This whole chain right here, that's great. This is a 35-minute queue, 30 to 35. 4 chains open over here. Posted 30. And if you were to get in there and walk that through, you would find that to be the case. One of these days, I did some math on here. It's about the same always, so you only really need to do a couple reps on there to get a pretty good idea how long it takes. But yeah, I would call that 30. They got that right. Fantasyland is kind of deadish right now. It's a little deadish. See this? See that? Toads? Man, I tell you what. Toads, no matter what. Toads is like, yes, we got to do Toads. Toads is good. 20 minutes. That's a full queue for Toads. That's busy. That's pretty busy. Dumbo. Let's see. We saw it at 25. I think it's still posted at 25. We'll take a look. We got to go check out Casey Jr. anyway. Are kids here today? They are, yes. When the strollers get out to 5 wide, when they get all the way out to the edge of this, then you know you've got a pretty good day for kids. So at least some folks are calling this a worthy day for the holidays. Maybe it's just the people with kids. I don't know. But that's a fair amount of strollers to be seen, especially for today. Dude, there's I have to go look now. Now I have to go look. It's right here. It's right here. This. It's gone. Right here, it's gone. Why'd they take this tree? It better at least have been like sick or something. That's making me crazy. Okay. Dumbo's doing well. They're back out here in the extended queue. So that's a busy day for Dumbo. They're calling it 25. I'd say it's probably close to that, maybe closer to 30 or 35. At least I would edge, or I would err in that direction as opposed to it being wider than that. It's at least 25. Look at that, guys go. I love it. Guys, that's Disneyland right there. Even if you don't like childlike spinners, if you're a fan of Disneyland and you know the heart and soul of Disneyland, that's the kind of thing you should be going, yes, I want more of that. Give me some of that. And I used to wonder why they had 2 Dumbos at Walt Disney World and Magic Kingdom, and maybe they should have 2. Sometimes I wish we had 2 Casey Juniors or something like that. 2 monorails, I don't know.
We gonna call you, Terry.
Mad Tea Party Light. We're gonna take a right turn to go check out Alice, but that is just about 2 rotations maybe, if that. Not too bad at all. Alice in Wonderland. I did some recon here recently, which I'll be posting to our newsletter, hopefully in the next day or so, but I have stayed in this exact queue. I got in at exactly this point. Stand by for the results. I didn't wait in this part of the queue, which I should measure this at one point. Maybe I'll just take a few minutes right now to do this. I want to know how long it takes to get to, let's say, from the down section to the posted wait time board. But I'm not quite there yet. The queue isn't big enough. That's the back right there. Well, I checked it. That leaf right there, where is that leaf? That one right there. Just before you go to the down section, that's where the queue got to the back of that queue. I measured it from there to the wait time sign. 3 minutes and 57 seconds. It doesn't take long. 3 minutes and 57 seconds to get to that wait time sign. And then stay tuned to the newsletter to find out how long it takes to get from that sign to your vehicle. Put your guesses in the comments section. How long do you think it'll be from the wait time sign to your vehicle? Put your guesses in the comment section, and I'll let you guys know the result after we get a few submissions. Let us know and see how accurate you guys can be. And now we're getting a little more Christmas. We found some more holiday season back here. As we were talking about on the tip board review, I'm gonna guess. I think my memory serves that in the past when they've run Small World longer than the usual right at the end of the holiday season, because this isn't the first time this has happened. It has happened in the past where they've let Small World stay open beyond the last day of holidays. They kept the music on. I remember it driving me crazy. I remember like, please stop. I can't take it anymore. It's January 21st and they're still playing holiday music, so that's what's going to happen. Trying to get to Toontown. Let's see. Because I want to find out how accurate. Well, it's been a while since we saw the tip board and Runaway Railway at a nice, comfy 25 minutes. Oh no, that's right. We saw Roger Rabbit at 20 minutes. We're probably too late. That was a call to action. We're going to be way too late for that. I'm almost positive. But if it still says 20, it won't be. It'll be 40 by the time we get in that queue. I hope it does say 20, because then we can do a little science, perhaps. Makes me happy being here. This feeling I get is like the feeling I get when I'm on Main Street. Love it. All right, Roger Rabbit first. Not a lot of loiterers out here in the front of the queue, that's for sure. It always looks super light. This always looks inviting. I always want to get in the queue. It is posted at 40, so I was right that the call to action has happened. People have shown up and they have doubled the wait time since we observed it on the tip board. So I think we'll just be spotting the back of the queue. But I would guess that 40 minutes is closer to correct than that 20 was. What's up, Jessica? And we found it. Back of the queue, just shy of the prop room, which is where we typically find it. We find it there, or perhaps even further back this way, so it's a little bit more to normal, but that was shocking. I can't remember the last time I've seen a 20-minute standby for Roger Rabbit, be that a busy day or a slow day, on any kind of day, even a slow day. It's 40 minutes, in February. Although stay tuned, because February, watch what happens. We're going to be starting that time of the season. Our next State of Disney report is going to be me losing my mind about how busy it is because of the discount ticket. Next week, when we go to State of DCA, we're going to be going on a Green Day, Tier 0, $106. And there will be an influx of guests who are also in there on the 3-day SoCal ticket. It's going to be busy, is my guess. Runaway Railway, posted at 40. I can already see the back of the queue. I don't have to get very far in there, so it's about right. It is 40 minutes, so we're getting a little more standard here. This was 25 when we checked the tip board. There must have been, well, what time is it? It's not parade time. No, it's not even. So it's just, people are just, it's just getting busier. But I kind of feel like Toontown is like Fantasyland. It doesn't care what the rest of the park is doing. Toontown, Fantasyland does its own thing. Galaxy's Edge does its own thing. Fantasyland just stays at the same level, always. It's just the same. I mean, there's obviously, you know, degrees of separation there, but slow days, it's still kind of busy. Busy days, it's still kind of not busy. If you know what I'm saying. Galaxy's Edge always looks less busy than the rest of the park is. Toontown is always a little bit more busy than the rest of the park is. 30-minute wait here for a mini. It's the same every week. Every time you come by here, it's the same. You know, and I laughed. You guys remember the tip board? When I laughed at the post at 15 to meet Mickey? There you go. Boy, Toontown, it actually is kind of popping right now. The back of the queue, there's the back of the queue for Gadget's Coaster. We saw it at, was it 35 on the tip board? It still is. Oh wait, that's not the back of the queue. That's Donald. That's a meet and greet for Donald. Wow, yeah, this is not happening. They have turned this off. This is just not, this is no longer a thing. The water, the duck pond. Back of the queue is kind of nice, actually. It's on the other side where the frog is, right over there. 20 minutes, not bad at all. If I was the kind of person who believed that starting petitions and asking people to sign them actually had any impact or effect at all in decision makings of the people who, you know, are part of the subject, I would start a petition to restore Donald's boat back to what it was, where you could go upstairs and look down and you could kind of mess around inside a little bit, and there's just, you could just run around and be free in that space and take out the water, the duck pond, and just put it back the way it was, exactly like it was. If I thought that starting a petition and asking you to sign it would do anything, hi guys, I would definitely do it, because I think that's what they should do. They screwed up Donald's boat. That's my unfiltered opinion, Disney. You screwed up Donald's boat. I hope you're happy. Man, this place is busy right here. Woo! It looks worse than it is because of the strollers. They go 4 wide here, sometimes 5, if they can fit them. So that reduces the path by half almost, maybe 2/3 or 1/3.
You know what? This view right here.
So it always, you know, it gets narrow here. Well, I don't know why. You know what? Oh, that's right. Is there a parade happening? Is that why we got a little bit? Yeah, it's 2 o'clock. But it feels super dense right here. But yeah, it's 2 o'clock, so that's the 2:30 parade. This is the second to last Christmas Fantasy Parade of the season. I can't even go look at Small World. They're keeping traffic from going in that direction, I think. Or is that just strollers? I think I can get over there. Hold on. Wow, it is impacted right here. Posted 35. Sign says 35. That's a pretty full queue, but there's nobody or very few people in Lightning Lane. So that's going to be pretty tidy. No worries there. This queue is going to get super light starting tomorrow. You won't see this get like it is now starting tomorrow. In spite of the fact that it would still be the holiday, which is is superior. Small World Holiday. Hi guys. Small World Holiday is better than regular Small World, which normally I wouldn't say such a thing about any Disney attraction, but it is the case where the variant is better than the original. Almost always the original. Always, every other case besides Small World, the original is better than the variant. But in spite of that, I don't think it's going to be very busy tomorrow in Small World. People are lining up though for that parade. Second to last Christmas Fantasy Parade of the season is going to rock off here in a second. But we got Recon and Signs. Whoa! Oh, Matterhorn, it's closed. I thought, man, it looks light. That looks super light. But it's just closed. Can't really do any analysis there. It's trippy to see the space so empty. Very, very trippy. And then you got this. You got Finding Nemo. Now, the Finding Nemo is not exactly the barometer of what is or is not a busy day. Disney got it wrong. Disney has it wrong. I can't buy a ticket. I can't make a reservation to come to the park today. I had to book this one weeks in advance. And this is the state of Finding Nemo right now. I'm sorry, but that's just wrong. That's incorrect. You could let in thousands more people into this park today. Easy. I'm gonna get the same thing when I make this left. We'll observe right now, by the way, that they are in the rotunda. But I feel like we're gonna see a light crew or light queue here at Autopia. That rotunda is 7 minutes. Well, at least it was the last time I got in there and I timed it. It took 7 minutes to go in and back out of that part of the queue. Autopia is posted at 30 minutes right here. And I mean, it's light. Let's see. They are using all 4 lanes. There's a few guests up there in the risers, but only they're using maybe a quarter of it. It looks like they're going all the way up to the top, but it's only half. It's only that left half and not the right half. So that's pretty light. They are using the rotunda. I would call this 7 minutes and that 7 minutes, and then maybe 5 or 7 to get to your vehicle from there. So 21 minutes probably. And that, by the way, FreshBaked, in a nutshell, is how I do queues. That's a real quick and dirty view of that. For continuous loading attractions, non-rotational. Continuously loading attractions. Define the sections. Collect data to guess, how long each section would take. Sometimes it's the full section. Sometimes in that case it's like half the section, so you would cut your time in half. Add up the sections, and there you go. That's how I would estimate the wait time there of about 20 minutes for Autopia. And we are in Tomorrowland, which feels a little spicy right now. Looks a little intense. Oh gosh. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but there's guests out there on the oh my gosh, they're out there on the helicopter landing pad up there. That's rare. So Space Mountain is not abiding by our "it's not so bad today" story, our narrative. What in the heck are they doing out there? Let's go find out. That says 65 minutes. Which, if there's guests out there, it's probably that and then some. All right, did you guys catch our construction report? Finally got some light poles up here. We talked about that in our construction report on Tuesday. Oh my. I can't even, if it's out here, it really is out here, you guys. If it's out here, that means it's wall-to-wall guests inside. This is really screwing up my idea of what today is. I can't even escape. I can't even abort. Well, I guess I could go over the chains, but this, I don't think I've seen the queue out here in quite some time. Years. It's been years since I've seen a queue out here, I think. But they're calling it 65 minutes. You could wait longer for this and half the queue inside there if you're having a bad day with Lightning Lane, which that doesn't, I mean, there's some guests going right there. But I don't really see what's the, what? Let me check. Normally it was like, it should be, it's 2:26 right now. And the return time for Space Mountain under normal conditions would be 6-8 hours into the future right now, maybe 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So let's see, I'm scrolling. Space Mountain, 6:50. There you go. 4 hours. So no, there's not as much demand for Lightning Lane today than normal. So that's the reason why it's only 65 minutes, even though the queue is all the way out here. And it does, actually, we haven't really moved much. I've been out here for a few minutes. I haven't seen them move hardly at all. Oh, you guys go ahead, thank you. And this cube in front of me isn't going anywhere really. If anything, people are just going. This is the kind of situation where I would turn around and go somewhere else. But then again, I would have made that observation down there, which I did. I would have seen it from down there and I wouldn't even come up the ramp. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a hard no. You see people out here, that's no thank you. Because then you got this, you got everything inside there, and it's just, that's not very palatable to me. But there they go. All right, there they go. So that's our outlier for this report. I wouldn't call, well, Haunted Mansion and Tiana's are outliers also. But I would have expected, I was expecting what we saw in Haunted Mansion and Tiana's. I was expecting 45, 60 minutes, 70 minutes for Tiana's and having a hectic space out there. I wasn't expecting this because I haven't seen that. I under any conditions, even busiest days of the year, I haven't seen a queue stuck out there like that. And mind you, I mean, I'm not here all the time, but I'm here a lot. You know, often enough where I can say I've seen some things. You know, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of things happen in this park. I like to think I've seen most of the things that have happened. That's possible, at least. But you know what's interesting, as I mentioned that, this is completely random and sort of a tangent, but I don't get walked off rides. And now I mentioned that because maybe I haven't seen everything, because there are things that just don't happen to me. In spite of the fact that I'm here 3-4 days a week, there are things that just don't ever happen to me. And one of those things is getting walked off rides. I never get walked off rides. Maybe I don't go on enough, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I should do more than a couple of rides a day. I'm not going to ride anything today, so it would be impossible for me to get walked off a ride today. There, I said that. Two more to go here in Tomorrowland. And this looks a little bit more like what I was expecting. This is very light right here. There's not a lot of action happening here, so I'm expecting light-ish. Hey, how are you guys? Lightish waits for both Buzz and Star Tours and Astro Orbiter. Although I see the queue sticking out over there at Star Tours, that's not a good sign. They're calling this 20 minutes here at Buzz Lightyear. 20 minutes. That's nice. I like that. There's hardly anybody. Oh no, there is a queue for Lightning Lane there. Some folks have shown up. That's fascinating considering we're not seeing a lot of Lightning Lane elsewhere in the parks, but they're here for Buzz Lightyear right now. But this is no big deal right here. Oh my gosh, if they make a U-turn, you can see they don't even have chains up. They don't even have chains up for the extended part. They're not even thinking about extending this queue. And they're making a U-turn. Yep, they are making the U-turn. They're not going into Pixie Hollow. In fact, it looks like they just cut it. They were going into Pixie Hollow. You can see the cast member here. There's guests back there, but he just chained it off. So they just trimmed that part of the queue. So it's getting lighter than they were expecting. Queues, the weight's going down. So that's a 20-minute standby. Look at Astro Orbiter. That's got to be appealing if you're interested, like a Dumbo fan. That's practically nothing, you guys. That's 2 rotations. There's the rotation, the next batch of guests that are going to Astro Orbiter will be on the other side of that turnstile. And then the rest of those guests will go in the next one. I would say that's 3 at the outside, but you could. No, that's probably 3. Yeah, that's probably 3. There's one there, another one to about here probably, and then a third one, the rest of the group there. So that's 3 rotations, which is just 15 minutes. And that's exactly what they're calling it. Yeah, 15 minutes. But you hardly ever see Astro Orbiter at the turn right there. You usually see it about halfway into these switchbacks. Star Tours is posted at 15 minutes. We saw we're going into the I forget what I called that before. detention, I think. They're in detention right now back there, but there's nobody back there, actually. I don't see anybody back there. They're going in and coming right back out. Yeah, that's it. That's the back of the queue right here. I get to do this time. Normally there's guests right here, but yeah, there's nobody in there. So the line has gotten shorter. These guys are going to go in there and turn right back around. I wonder if they're going to make them. Oh yeah, they're just going to hop the chain. I was going to say, I wonder if they're going to make them Shrek their way through all that. Light. Disney has it wrong, man. They got it wrong. I can't. There's no other. I cannot come up. There's no other conclusion that I could draw from this. They thought and thought wrong. And I said at the top of the show, I'm like, why is this a holiday? Why are they calling this a holiday? Why are they saying? Why do they think this is one of those? I don't know, man. Who ends the holidays on a Monday? Yesterday was the last day of the holiday season. And they also think that also because they closed a few attractions today. And there's another one closing tomorrow. Haunted Mansion's closing tomorrow. Now, don't get it confused. I'm not saying that guests are rejecting Disney, rejecting Disneyland, and that Disney's got it wrong and they need to reevaluate their thinking. Or, I mean, in some ways they do. They just have it wrong today. Okay? Next week, when we come back to do State of DCA, we're probably going to see some big crowds, but that's going to be because it's a Tier 0 day. It's a green day, $106 for the ticket, and we're going to come back to Disneyland in the week after that, and that's probably going to be another low-tier ticket, and we're going to see more of the effects of people coming on the discounted SoCal ticket. So it's not like there's going to be a sudden, lack of crowds. I mean, it's going to be less busy than it was, as it should be, because that was the holidays, and this is not. So when I say they have it wrong today. They have it wrong today, and they're probably in a few other areas, as we mentioned. But then again, as I also mentioned, who am I? I'm just a guy on the ground with a camera who's making armchair, opinions. I am not privy to any of their park data. I'm not privy to park, attendance and revenues and things like that. So what do I know? But it sure seems wrong. They got this date wrong, I'll say that. This sure does not seem right. Because this is light. Coming around this corner, I should be feeling significantly more pressure right here. I should be feeling way more. For a maxed out, sold out, no reservations available day. 45 minutes for Big Thunder. Queue snaking around there, no big deal. That's not even 45. That's nothing. And there's no lightning lane. What's the return time right now for Big Thunder? Let's see. Where'd it go? 7:15. Wow. Return time for Big Thunder is 7:15, 4.5 hours from now. That's pretty high for Big Thunder, I gotta say. So there is going to be more impact on Lightning Lane later today as the evening develops. So it's not a complete story here at Big Thunder. This river kind of sums up our day. Nothing happening. Mark Twain is in dock. It's been closed. Columbia has been sitting here. There's no action here. The Columbia's done for the day as well. Just quiet. I mean, there is some action out there on the island. I'm noticing it's a little busier than usual out there on Tom Sawyer Island. That makes me happy. But otherwise, it's kind of average today. Not what we were expecting, but also kind of what we were expecting. When we opened this show, I was wondering, it's going to be sort of a dichotomous day today. Like on the one hand, Disney wants it to be busy, but I just don't feel like this is the day. This isn't the day for that. I don't know what happened. But there you go, guys. That's our afternoon here. That's our State of Disneyland report at Disneyland. I hope you guys do enjoyed. If you did and you like this show and want to show your support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/FreshBaked. Then follow us on Instagram at _FreshBaked, on Twitter at FreshBaked Disney, that's FreshBaked, and on TikTok at FreshBaked Disney. Oh, follow or join our newsletter. As I mentioned, we got some new recon data that I'm going to be posting there, and so the link below for that. And yeah, other than that, take care, guys. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. FreshBaked.